Now, problem number 15 deals with two consecutive odd integers. And we're given some information. So why don't we do this? We want to find the two, so let's just start here. Let's say that we do this, that x equal the first odd integer, and then what would be the next, or the second odd integer? Well, they're odd, so remember they differ by 2, just like the evens do. So like if the first one was 5, the next one would be 5 plus 2, 7. Just because they're odd doesn't mean you add 1, right? X plus 2, both for odd, both for even. And now what I know is this. Let's read through it. 53 more than, okay, there's that more than, so we know that whatever follows more than, that's where you start. More than the lesser. Now the lesser, that's another way of saying the smaller. So I'm going to start with the smaller. Okay, the smaller is x, and then it's 53 more than that. So x plus 53 is equals 4 times the greater. Now the greater one is the x plus 2, right? The smaller one was x. The next one is the bigger one, x plus 2. So it's 4 times that. 4, now be careful, you have to get the whole thing. 4 times the entire x plus 2. There's our equation. Let's solve this. So we'll get x plus 53 equals, now distribute here, we'll get 4x plus 8. Got x's on both sides. I've got 1x on the left, but 4 on the right. I'm going to get all the x's over here on the right side. So I'm going to subtract this x. So if I do that, I'm going to get 53 is equal to, now 4x's minus x is 3x plus 8. Now I'm going to subtract the 8 from the 53 and this side here. So 53 minus that 8 is a 45. That's equal to 3x. Divide by 3. We'll get x is 15. Right? 45 divided by 3 is 15, but it's a word problem, so follow it all the way back. What is x? X is the first odd integer. And I got an odd integer. But we also have this one. This is x plus 2. I'm going to write that right down here. Okay, so I've got x. The next one's x plus 2. That's equal to, there's x. 15 plus 2 is 17. So they're both odds. I got them, they're consecutive. So the two odd integers we're looking for is 15 and 17. There we go. Number 16 tells us that when the smaller of two consecutive integers, not odd or even, just two consecutive integers, is added to 4 times the larger, the result is 64. So what we're doing is we're adding two consecutive integers in a way, and we want to find the integers. So they're two consecutive integers. So let's do this. Let x equal the first integer, and then what's the second? What's the next integer? That they're consecutive, right? So it's just x plus 1. And we know this. When the smaller of the two, that's this one, is added to 4 times the larger. Okay, now 4 times the larger is 4 times this one. So let's do that. Let's take 4 times the larger, and to that we'll add the smaller. The result is 64. So I've just written what I read here. It says when the smaller of two integers is here, when I add that to 4 times the larger, I get 64. So let's solve this. Let's take that 4 through. So we'll get 4x plus 4 plus x is 64. 4x and x is a 5x plus 4 equals 64. Let's subtract that 4. 64 minus 4 is 60, so we'll get 5x equals 60. Divide by 5. X is 12. Now it's a word problem, so follow it all the way back. What is x? X is the first integer. So the first one's 12, but then we got this other one here. I'll write that right below it. 2 unknowns. There's the x, so we get 12 plus 1 is 13. So the two consecutive integers are 12 and 13. Now look what we've got here in 17. We're told that if we add up 3 consecutive even integers, we'll get 168, and we want to know what the first one is. Oh, just the first one, not all three. What is the first one? So let's start here. Let's let x be the first even integer. Now we need two more. We need the second even integer, and we need the third even integer. So these are even integers, and even integers, you know, differ by 2. So if x is the first one, the next one is going to be 2 more than that, right? Like if the first one was 10, the next one would be 10 plus 2, 12. And the third one would be 10 plus 4, or 12 plus 2. So if the first one is x, the next even integer is 2 more, and the next one is 2 more than this. So x plus 2 is x plus 4, or directly from here, 4 more than this one is x plus 4. So here's our 3 consecutive even integers, and we know if we add them up, there's the first one, there's the second one, here's the third one, that we're going to get 168. So let's do it. Here's our equation. We can solve this. X and x and x, there's 3 x's, plus, and then 2 and 4 is a 6. This is 168. Let's subtract that 6, so we'll get 3x equals 168 minus 6, 162. Divide by 3. 162 divided by 3, you know, I'm going to go up here and do this. X is equal to, well, here's what I know. 3 will go into 16 5 times with remainder 1, so I'll get a 5. Remainder 1. Bring down the 2, I get a 1, 2 at 12. 3 will go into 12 4 times. So we got the first one. Now, that's all it says to do, right? What is the first of the 3 integers? There we go. Oh, I don't want to write it like that, you know? What I want to write is just this. The first of the integers is just 54. Now, if it did ask us for all 3, the first one is 54, the next is 56, the next is 58. But they're not asking us for that. We're asked only for the first one. And there we have it.